Okay, Tov everyone, good morning. We are continuing in the story of Yonah. I know it's a little bit late, but let's continue briefly. So we're up to the part in the story where they did lots, and they drew lots, and the boat is going crazy, it's chaos, and they realized they drew lots, it fell on Yonah. So next pasuk, Vayomeru elav, they told him, Hagidan alanu, tell us, Ka'asher lemi hara'a hazot lanu, to who is this evil? Meaning, they knew it fell on Yonah. But it doesn't mean that Yonah is the bad guy. But he might know what the source is of this whole thing. He might not be the guy, but so they wonder what's going on over here. Ma melachtecha, what's your job? Ume'ain tavo, where are you going to? Ma artzecha, what land are you from? Ve'e mize amatan, from which nation are you from? They're asking him all these questions. Where are you from? What's going on over here? And all these lots that we drew point to you that all this chaos is going on. What's happening over here? So first of all, we see from this pasuk a concept of teshuvah that they're kind of putting onto Yonah. That like a person always has to ask himself, introspection. What am I doing here? What's with my life? Why am I doing this? What am I doing that? All these questions. They're interrogating him. These are type of interrogation we're supposed to interrogate ourselves. Rashi explains, whose sin over here? What's the sin? Maybe it's with your job. Maybe you sin. Maybe you owe people money. Maybe you stole. Maybe from the nation that you came from, right? They're sinners, right? Or maybe the nation that you're going to are sinners. So what's going on over here? So that's a good question. We don't know. They also didn't know at the time. You're right. So another thing the Malbim over here says is that they believed, part of those other nations' beliefs was that there's like a God over the land and a God over the water. And when you come into the water, then you're like in a different round. Now you're being judged. And if you're not accepted by the water, then there's an issue that you got to fix. So they're like, there's chaos here in the water. There's an issue here. We got to fix this issue. With this God, God forbid, this other God of the water. And we're going to explain what Yonah's answer is in a moment. So they're like, what's going on over here, Yonah? And then Yonah tells them back. Vayomer alehem. Yonah tells them, Ivri anochi. I am an Ivri, which was a name for the Yehudim, the Jews at the time. As Avraham was called Avraham Ivri. What does Ivri mean? Oh, Ever Hanar, from the other side of the river. Where Avraham Avinu started, that's also Miyaldeha Ivrim. This is the story of Paro, where the children were born. They wanted to throw the children in the Nile. They wanted to tell Miriam and to kill the new babies from the kids of the Ivrim. So because we were from Ever Hanar, the other side of the Euphrates River, where Avraham Avinu was from, the northern part of like Syria area, and that's where Avraham was from, and then Avraham was called Avraham Ivri, because he, in a way, in his hashkafa, his mentality was on one side of the river, as far as believing in Hashem, and the rest of the world were believing in idols. They were the other side of the river, so to speak. So we are the ones from that side. It's called the Ivrim. So he says, Ivri anochi, ve'et Hashem elokei hashamayim ani yareh, and God, the God of the heavens, I fear. Asher asat hayam et hayabasha, who made the Yam and the Yabasha. There's not two gods. There's not a special thing. I believe in Hashem. Hashem created the waters and the dry land. So he tells them, with this conviction, and he says that there's no separate deities or whatever. And then the next pasuk, Vayireu ha'anashim yir'a gedola. The people feared a great fear. And the Malbim explains, this is not now a fear of losing their life. Because on Pasuk Hey that we read a few days ago, Vayiru malachim, they were fearing and they started throwing things overboard, started praying. That was a fear of death. Here, it's Vayiru anashim, it's a fear of the neshama, meaning there's a sin over here that happened. That's why this is happening. And Yonah says with conviction, there's no other gods. I believe in Hashem, the creator of the world, etc. And now they're stunned. Okay, so we're in sin. Our neshama is also in trouble. Meaning, it's not just our body that's in trouble here by dying. It must be, if we're all together here, our neshama is in trouble. What's going on, Yonah? We need help over here. And a great fear. Vayomeru elav, and they told him, Mazot asita, meaning, what's not what did you do, but more of a question of why did you? Because then he explained the story. Why did you run away? What's going on? That's what we're going to see now. Ki yadu anashim, because the people knew ki milifnei Hashem uboreach, that Yonah ran away. Ki higid lahem, because he told them the story. The narrator tells us. So he says, well, why did you do that? Why did you run away? That we're all in this together, and this is like sin on us. So our neshama is also here threatened. So that's that's what Yonah. That's what they tell Yonah. And we're gonna pause there, and we're gonna see Yonah's response, etc. But for today, the Gaon of Vilna on these pesukim explain as follows. Number one is that when they told Yonah, they did this interrogation. What land are you from? What nation are you going to, etc. This connects to the words of Lech Lecha, was mentioned before, Lech Lecha, where Hashem tells Moshe to go, to leave Artzecha, and by Avraham, right? Lech Lecha me'artzecha molatech bet avicha. Leave your land where you were born, the place of your house. So to over here, me'artzecha, they tell them, what land are you from? And me'ayin tavo, from where did you come from? Where's the place of your birth? And he left Bet Avicha is the Amata. From what nation are you from? Meaning the Gaon of Vilna explains that this whole thing is about teshuvah and about teshuvah, and therefore when they're interrogating Yonah, the message for us is: did we distance ourselves from our nest, from Hashem, etc.? Yonah, you're distancing yourself. Now, it was in the opposite in a way, where Hashem commanded Abraham to leave his homeland. But the point here is, you distance yourself from your connections. And that's something we have to take with us. Did we distance ourselves? And in pasuk Yud, Mazot Asita is in reference to a person has to ask himself, what did I do with my life? What did I do with myself? And we have to say to ourselves, did I run away from Hashem throughout my life? Did I have a life where I ran away? Baruch Hashem, we're still alive. We have ability to do teshuvah. Boreach means running away. Teshuvah means to come back. We have the ability to come back. So these are things that we're supposed to be asking ourselves as well during this time while we're connecting to the story of Yonah. We'll continue tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem, to see what Yonah answers and the next part of the story. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Yechon Aneh Menakasha Omer, Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisraficha Chibadam Torah u'mitzvot shneimar Adonai Chafetz Man Tzidko Yagdil Torah ve'yadir.